This program is brought to you by the Genesis Communications Network, a world leader in talk radio since 1998. Visit GCNlive.com today.
Broadcasting and streaming live all across America. This is HomeTalkUSA with Michael King, where we will discuss topics pertaining to your home with industry-leading experts. Michael King is a licensed general contractor with more than 30 years of experience in home improvements and the author of Contracting with the King. Join us this hour for our segment Invent America with your co-host, the Inventor Lady, Rita Crompton. Discover what's next in the home improvement industry and explore new products and innovations. Or if you have that next great big idea, learn what it takes to bring your invention to the world as Michael King and Rita Crompton talk to America's inventors and innovators. Remember, the America of tomorrow is being invented today. We invite you to visit us at HomeTalkUSA.com. One of the best resources for home improvement information around today. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com. And now, we proudly present Invent America from the #1 home improvement radio program in the country, Home Talk USA, with your host, the Cajun contractor, Michael King, and his co-host, the Inventor Lady, Rita Crompton.
Yahoo! Welcome, America! That's right. It's always about life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. This is part of the Home Talk USA radio family. This is the Invent America show. What we do is basically we educate you, we guide you, we advise you on different technologies. And if you're an inventor or a manufacturer, or we kind of give you a blueprint of how to take your idea from, say, an idea to actually go through the steps to get your product on the shelves. And there's a whole steps in between, and that's what we do here each week and every week, so we can get you that patent, so you can understand intellectual property rights and all these great things that you need. So we used to do this like within the 3 hours, guess here, guess there, and I said, well, let's kind of put it all together because, look, let's face it, it is the technologies of the future, and that's what we do here. Well, I'd like to welcome my co-host right now. They call her the Inventor Lady, and she kind of sits in and kind of go over all. Well, she actually produces the show. She goes out there and finds the guests and the topics to discuss, and she's a very experienced when it comes to inventors, and that's why they call her the Inventor Lady. She's here right now. Hey, Miss Rita, how you doing?
I am fine, and it is a pleasure to be here with everyone. And, you know, the programs that we bring to everybody, it tells the consumers what cool new products are out there that they're going to want to go and find, but it also explains how challenging it is for inventors to get from I have an idea to the marketplace. I think there's a greater appreciation than when a new product hits the market and our listeners is like, oh my goodness, do you know what they went through to get this into our hands? And it's exciting. And Invent America, because Americans invent. We solve problems.
Well, I'll tell you, Rita, we're going to talk about something that's so important because it can be complicated, and that's prototyping. Prototypes.
Yes.
It's got to start from the idea, and then it's got to go to writing it down, and it goes from writing it down to actually do a prototype. That prototype's probably going to change 100 times before it's actually been all the kinks have been worked out, because you don't want to invest in, say, 10,000 of these items if they're not going to sell, or they're not right or manufactured right, or so prototyping is why it does get so complicated, though, Rita?
Well, you're right in the fact that there's layers of it. So you've got your very first one. We always laugh and say, duct tape and cardboard, Legos make some really good prototypes, Play-Doh, whatever you've got sitting around you can find in the kitchen and the garage. Because you've got to get it out of your head into something three-dimensional. And you learn a lot that way. It's like, all right, it needs to be smaller. It needs to be bigger. This hinge has got to open this way instead of that way. So that's the first one, is just a trial and error to see what you can do. And then the more advanced one, you might have to go to get some CAD drawings done and somebody that's going to, do rapid prototyping. So it prints out of a machine in a type of plastic. You learn more things that way as well. But each phase you go through, you learn something about, what it should look like, how it should feel, how it should work. And, I'll ask inventors like, well, how many prototypes do you have? And it's like, I've got a museum full on what they had to do to get it ready. Well, today we're going to talk about now the manufacturer's prototype. And that's a whole different phase of prototyping. And so many of our inventors don't realize it. They figure they're going to call somebody up and they're going to say, oh, of course I can make this. And the next thing you know, you're ready to start manufacturing. And it's just not that easy. No, it's not. So why don't we dive deep into this, the difference between your prototyping, the customer, the inventor's prototyping and the manufacturing prototype, because at the end of the day, they have to produce the product, right? Right. And what we look for, like we're going to ASD Market Week, which is one of the largest shows in the country for all consumer products. And a lot of the inventors are taking what we call the sexy prototype or the proof of concept. So it works the way it's supposed to work. It looks pretty darn close to it. It may not be polished, but it still looks good and it functions. So you've got proof of concept. And that next stage, that next jump to the manufacturer's prototype, well, yours was printed out of a machine, made in your garage, maybe the kitchen or whatever, might have had some parts put together and printed out. But it's not making 5,000 out of them based on tooling or mold. And that is the last step. And it takes steps. We've got one gentleman, he was so frustrated when the manufacturer started sending prototypes to him. And he goes, but this is not what I'm looking for. And it's like, no, you need to understand, before we do 5,000 of these, I want to know the handle is right. The handle is long enough, that the top part of it looks right. So it's a trial and error part, for the inventor and the designer and the manufacturer's prototype to get it just right. And one of the reasons we take these early stage products to the show is a lot of times that's where the inventor learns what are the industry standards that they may have missed in their research. Well, and it's one thing you have to understand. The manufacturer or the person manufacturing the product has to, 9 times out of 10, they're automated. So that means that there's automation involved. It has to be programmed in the system so the automation robot can produce it, because that's at the end of the day, that's what has to be done to make a profit. Right. You got to mass produce. So it has to be where it can be programmable into the system. You understand? So it's a lot more involved than say here. You got to get the robot to agree with you. The robot might say, I can't do this. Exactly. And there are times that what the inventor sends to the manufacturer or to a licensee, because a lot of our inventors want to be able to license it. And so they're licensing frequently the sexy prototype, the proof of concept. Yeah. And the manufacturer comes back and says, it can't be done this way at the right price. Yeah, that's so it's not that it can't be done, but a product needs to be at a price the consumer will pay for it. So sometimes redesigning has to go into it. Well, we're going to talk about that. Like, Rita, there's the music. We got to step away. Got to pay some bills. Okay. We got a great show for you. We got a great show. We're going to have Anthony Williams. We're going to be talking about a product named Rootvid. We have Leslie Holland. We're going to talk about the jewelry closet. And then we're going to have Adam Winklmann. He's our product expert, industry expert from Kickr Design. So we've got a great show. Stay with us right here on the Home Improvement Broadcast. Kickr Design. Design is one of our sponsors. Yay! Oh yeah, I didn't know that. Hey, come on, I forgot. Hey, hold on. We got to treat him. We got to roll out the red carpet. It's Adam, but we want to get him Kickr Design. So hey, stay tuned right here on the Home Improvement Broadcasting Network. I am
the originator, the not the duplicator. Please don't accept no substitution. Along with the Inventor Lady herself, Miss Rita Crompton, this is Home Talk USA radio program on the Genesis Communication Radio Network. Invent America, because America invents. Yahee! We're going to be right back.
Welcome back to Home Talk USA with Michael King. Do you have questions about your next home improvement project or home repairs? Now you can chat with verified home repair and home improvement experts in just minutes. Get the help you need by visiting HomeTalkUSA.com. One of the best resources for home improvement information around today. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com. And now, back to Invent America from the #1 home improvement radio program in the country. Home Talk USA with your host, the Cajun contractor Michael King, and his co-host, the Inventor Lady, Rita Crompton.
All right, welcome back, everyone. That's right. This is the Invent America show, along with my sidekick, the Inventor Lady herself, Rita Crompton. Don't forget, we are streaming live on the Genesis Communication Radio Network at GCNlife.com. You can check out everything on the HomeTalkUSA.com. And if you want to know anything about Invent America, how America really do invents, you can check that out on the website. Click the link that's there, and it's going to take you to the Invent America website. But it's all one big family, one big organization to give you the education. When we invent America, we're looking for the technologies of the future, and that's what we're here to talk about. And well, I have one right now. His name is Anthony Williams. He's going to be talking about his product called Roof Vid. He's on the line right now. Hey, Mr. Anthony, how you doing?
Hey, good. It's actually called Tape Saver.
Okay, I had Roof Vid. I apologize. What is this called?
Yeah, the Tape Saver.
The Tape Saver. Okay. Well, Rita, how did I make the mistake?
Well, because he had sent me an email that said Roof Fit on it, and that's what I had. So anyway, my fault for not getting him back on the phone and saying, fill this in for me, Anthony. So it gives us a chance to say the name a couple of different times. So
that's right. And plus he gets to hear that we're sorry. People like to hear it. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, Anthony.
It's like, oh my God, Anthony. So, Anthony, my first question for you then is to tell us, what is Tape Saver?
Well, it's a hand tool, and it actually is it's to assist you into applying tape onto seams in unreachable areas.
Okay, give us an example.
Well, it actually seals the air conditioning duct to the air conditioning unit itself on the roof, especially on the roofs. It's a hard-to-reach area, and it usually takes two guys to do the job.
I was just going to say, I was pretty sure I'd seen pictures of you on a roof, and
yeah.
The name I wrote down wasn't, didn't seem like that far of a stretch. So anyway,
no, it was a roof video, I think, is what that was.
Yeah. Well, Anthony, let me ask you this: what is your background? No, I mean, you didn't wake up one day and say, "Hey, I want to invent the tape saver." Tell me.
No, I have almost 2 decades in construction experience.
So me and you can hold hands together and holler kumbaya, right? I got you, brother.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
Yeah, 27 years on the air, and I've been a contractor, since 1982, 28, and 20. Oh, my God, that's 45 years I've been a contractor. Oh, my God.
You don't want to admit that
I'm
on
depressed.
Air. I'm sure.
I'm depressed. But Anthony, so I tell you what. How did it come out? I mean, how did you come up with the idea, though? I mean, you was going out there looking for something that. And you said,
actually, I was doing the job, and my boss told me that this is the only way that it's done, and that there is no tool for this job. And so that started my mind going. How can I do this? How can it get it done? Without two guys doing it. And came up with this tool.
So how long did it take you to get from, wow, I've got an idea, to actually then having your prototypes? And how many stages of prototyping did you go through to get the tool?
Actually, I'm just starting prototyping.
Whoa.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I haven't even started.
Have a fun road.
It's been almost a year and a half, and I'm barely starting the prototype.
I want to talk about the mistakes. Right. I want to talk about. I hate to say them. I want to talk about the mistakes that were made so far, because that's where education is the mistakes. I mean, to say I did this, but I could have did it this way, or anything related like that. Do you have any stories to tell? Share with our audience.
Just with going with the wrong company to get this all done, I guess. I paid double what I should have.
Hey, there you go, Rita. You see? Testimonial.
There you go.
Yeah, I wish I would have met Rita a year and a half ago.
Well, that's what this show's about.
I do, too.
Yeah, all right. Well, let's move forward now. Now you got the right Inventor Lady now, so let's get this to market. So you said you're in the prototyping stage right now, right?
Yeah, just started.
So are you doing this first version yourself, or do you have somebody that is helping you design the tool?
Actually, yeah, it's a local fabricator in town that I know. He's helping me do it.
Okay. Did you do kind of your own version of the duct tape and cardboard version so you could test a few things, or did you go into him and say, okay, this is what I need it to do, and he goes, okay, let's start?
Yeah, I went over to him, and so I got a pretty good prototype going on.
Well, and I'd seen videos of the prototype, and it looked like you did have one that was that you were saying, okay, this is the first step, and now, I need it to be a little bit nicer looking.
Yeah, more professional, yes. I actually need to go into professional-looking one, yeah.
All right, so you'll be able to use the same gentleman then to help you out, and it's not unusual that you're able to use the same gentleman to get you to sexy prototype, and then you have to jump either to licensing or manufacturer's prototype.
Yes, exactly. So, yeah, and it's a good thing I know him locally, and or otherwise it would have costed me an arm and a leg.
Well, the good thing that you've got going for you is that you do the work, so you can test the prototype on the job and find out exactly how it's working, as opposed to, some folks, they really need that extra, outreach to go out and test prototypes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm getting real lucky here.
So do you have other gentlemen on the job, coworkers, who can also test and give you feedback?
Yes.
Yes, you do?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and the difference is, I get somebody who's, they've got an idea for a new toothbrush, and they need to go into dentist's office and get, feedback from the professionals. But you are the professional, and you have other professionals you work with.
Exactly.
All right. So,
we're out of time.
Anthony, what's next? I know. Anyway, I will get you on the what next question when I get you on video.
Okay.
Well, how can we reach Anthony, Rita?
All right. I am going to post Anthony's information so people can comment on what he's got on our website on invent-america.com or info@inventamerica.com so that people can get a hold of us and talk to us and ask questions. And Anthony will be doing video with me so we can actually see his prototype.
Anthony, will he be at the show?
I'm working on him. Anthony, are you going to be at the show?
Well, we're working on it. Not too sure.
Good. Anthony Wibbs, thank you for being our guest on Tape Saver. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. That's right. We're going to take a short break. Got to pay some bills. You're listening to the Invent America show here on the HomeTalkUSA Radio Network. I am the originator, not to duplicate it. Please don't accept no substitution. I was green before green was even cool. Me and Rita will be right back. Don't go nowhere with another guest, another topic. I think we're going to have Leslie Holland. Yay!
Welcome back to Home Talk USA with Michael King. Do you have questions about your next home improvement project or home repairs? Now you can chat with verified home repair and home improvement experts in just minutes. Get the help you need by visiting HomeTalkUSA.com. One of the best resources for home improvement information around today. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com. And now, back to Invent America from the #1 home improvement radio program in the country. Home Talk USA with your host, the Cajun contractor Michael King, and his co-host, the Inventor Lady, Rita Crompton.
All right, welcome back. That's right. We're moving on right here. We want to welcome and thank all of you if you're just joining in. This is the Invent America part of the Home Talk USA radio family. Our next guest, she's on the line right now. Her name is Leslie Holland. We're going to talk about the jewelry closet. She's on the line right now. Hey, welcome, Miss Leslie. How you doing?
Hey, Michael. I'm doing great. I just want to say thanks so much for having me on the show.
Well, I tell you what, Rita, now she's going to be, we have a very important announcement. We're going to be attending this trade show coming up next month. Can you tell us a little bit about the trade show, Rita? Because I understand Leslie is going to be there, right?
Yes, Leslie is going with us. We are going to be going to ASD Market Week. It is the second week of March. It is for all consumer products. And the really cool thing is that we've got 800 square feet right across from the concession area, so we're in a good location. And the attendees are buyers for the chain stores, for the smaller chains, for the independents. And so it's not consumers that are attending the show. There will be 30,000 buyers there looking for different types of products. So we are really excited. And we're glad to have Leslie going along. She's got a beautiful piece of it's not equipment and it's not necessarily furniture, but it's a jewelry box, and it is lovely. I can't wait to have one myself.
Wow. So tell us about it, Ms. Holland. Tell us about your jewelry box, the jewelry closet.
Can do. And hello, Rita, as well. So my idea came from struggles with my own jewelry storage. I found myself constantly digging through drawers, looking in boxes and bags for that one piece I wanted to wear, and I had often come up empty-handed. So I knew there had to be a better way. Well, I began looking for that better way, and I found out, well, there really isn't one. Most jewelry organizers never have enough space, and they definitely don't have the right kind of space. So that's when I decided to design an organizer myself. So this is the first and only modular jewelry organizer, hopefully coming to market. Users select from an interchangeable set of parts to create a layout that fits their unique jewelry storage needs. So in other words, if you're somebody who loves to wear rings, well, you just choose multiple ring holders for your closet. And then secondly, the cabinet is vertically oriented, so it provides plenty of space for pieces to drape, so we can all say goodbye to tangling, stacking, and clutter. And finally, the jewelry closet is multi-layered, so it holds a lot of jewelry in a small space while the parts ensure that there's a place for every single piece, and it keeps those pieces visible and accessible. The jewelry closet is not only highly functional, the end result is absolutely gorgeous. I use one myself.
So, and the website is thejewelrycloset.co, and we will have then the prototypes at the ASD Market Week. So, Leslie, tell us about the steps you went through for prototyping.
Well, I say it's a little bit akin to building the plane while you're flying. So you know you're going to take off. You know you definitely want to land, but it's the building part that gets a little messy. So I started with the cardboard and the duct tape and all that and thought, then the PowerPoint drawings. And I found that with PowerPoint drawings, there aren't many fabricators that really want to talk to you. So I kind of pulled myself up by the bootstraps and found a design engineer to do some really, really nice drawings for me. And I got a couple of prototypes made, and I'm very happy with the results. As I said, I use one of the prototypes myself every day, and I love it. My next and final prototype is the one I'll have at ASD Market Week on display, and that's for custom closets. It is probably the simplest and easiest to install, and it's also scalable. Most importantly, it's a great improvement on what closet companies offer today, which is generally a lot of drawers that you can never see what you got.
Well, and I think the important thing for our listeners to understand, it's taken about 3 years to get this far. From, wow, I think I'll do this, and you're having then at the show a final sexy prototype. So it is not fast, and I think that's one of the biggest things that our inventors run into is their expectation, this will be done next week. Well, they haven't even started it next week. It's going to take 2 months to get it done. And so it takes time.
It sure does. And then it's really a design and refine process. So I spent so much time working with the design engineer on the drawings. So that part was, you have to get it right. And so then you shoot out what you hope is a functional prototype. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. So you just kind of go through that cycle over and over again till you reach that hopefully sexy prototype that you're going to have at the, on display at the show.
Well, I know that setting a time for a show is a motivator for some folks because they say, I need this by the show. I need this by the show. And then because I see inventors frequently that say, well, I need to get this done and I need to get this done. And, months go by and they haven't done anything. But a show now is a motivator because there's a deadline involved.
It absolutely is. I found a fabulous fabricator who is putting together this final demo prototype as we speak. I'm really excited about it. So I'm hoping that there'll be a lot of people that love it too.
Well, I know that the people that I've shown it to have loved it, especially me, and then my husband, who will buy it for me as a gift. So, because, I've got things that are in baggies and things that are hanging and then a small jewelry. So I get it because I've been there, done that, and still looking for a solution. So, yay, that's awesome. And we are looking forward to having you at the show. The past shows that we've gone to were very limited, and this is one that allows us to bring everything from cool new jewelry storage, the jewelry closet, to the gentleman that we had on before who was in construction. So it is a wonderful opportunity to go to this show. And we invite anybody out there who's got a product, who's working on it, to give us a call, reach out, and join us at ASD Market Week in March 2024.
All right, Rita, how do we get in touch with Leslie? She's on your site?
She will be, and it's thejewelrycloset.co. If you are looking for her website, you can reach her through the website. I saw her contact information on there yesterday.
All right, Leslie, thank you for being our guest.
Hey, thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it.
All right, that was Leslie Holland. Check out the Jewelry Closet. We're going to take a short break along with my sidekick, the Inventor Lady herself, Rita Crompton. We're going to have Adam Winklmann. Adam's actually a sponsor of the show, so we want to make sure we take care of our sponsors. So always do like to mention that in advance when a person is a sponsor, that who they are, so we can help them.
Welcome back to Home Talk USA with Michael King. Do you have questions about your next home improvement project or home repairs? Now you can chat with verified home repair and home improvement experts in just minutes. Get the help you need by visiting HomeTalkUSA.com. One of the best resources for home improvement information around today. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com. And now, back to Invent America from the #1 home improvement radio program in the country, Home Talk USA, with your host, the Cajun contractor Michael King, and his co-host, the Inventor Lady, Rita Crompton.
Yahee! Welcome back. Don't forget we are streaming live at the Genesis Communication Radio Network at GCNlive.com. Rita, I tell you what, I'm a fan of our next guest. His name is Adam Winklmann. He's with Kickr Design, and I do like to, let our audience know that when we have a sponsor of the show and we get them on, because as you know, Rita, we're not a pay-to-play network, a broker network. You just don't write a check and get on this show. But when we have somebody that supports the show, let's face it, Rita, without our sponsors, there's no Invent America and there's no Home Talk USA. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. Yep, I do understand it. And we have been grateful. Kickr Design was actually our very first sponsor. for Invent America. So we are grateful that they came on board. I met Addison, I believe, at the National Hardware Show last year. The Adam is actually a manufacturing lead at Kickr Design, so he's worked with everybody who comes in from a napkin sketch to manufacturing millions of pieces. So, Adam, we are so grateful that you were able to join us today.
Thanks so much for having me.
So we've been talking about manufacturing the prototype stage. So when someone comes to you and says, we need here's where I'm at, I've got the proof of concept. And for me, one of the things that is the hardest for them to understand is how long it takes to get through those steps. Why don't you share with our audience, kind of what goes into that when somebody comes to you and they've, just got the basics. What do you do for them?
Yeah, so there's a whole bunch of steps, and the prototyping process can be a long process in itself, and then the manufacturing process can be equal to that, or sometimes longer, or double, triple, you name it. But the biggest thing when you've got a good proof of concept is now planning, and it's looking at your business model, understanding your market, and understanding the features that you really need to have, and then the ones that might go along with that. Because understanding that core life cycle, how you're going to sell it, where you're going to make it, understanding how that looks will really influence the design steps that go into designing your product from that concept to being manufacturing ready. That's huge for getting that right the first time. And after you've got that in mind, forming a rigid plan, and I mean rigid, where you can set your budgets, set your schedules, and set your team. And building that team out with having that business model and everything ready to go makes your process expedite, makes it work smoother, makes you understand what I's and T's need to be crossed to get it right. And once you've got that going, and you can really sit down with your team, with yourself, look through your plan, and align your expectations of here's what you're looking for and here's what your team can deliver. And that's something we really work with our clients to really understand, hey, look, here's the limitations of manufacturing, and here's some trade-offs that might come with it. So with having that set, you can look at your rigid plan and say, all right, here's where we may need to make some exceptions.
Right. And I think one of the things that inventors frequently miss is that when they do their upfront market research and they go to a show with their proof of concept prototype and they go, okay, I need to hit price points. So, Mr. Store owner, what would be a good retail price for this product? And the store owner is going to have a pretty good idea of what his clientele will pay for something. Well, then they can come to you and say, I've got to be able to hit these numbers. And you get to say, not with this design, you won't hit these numbers. Let's rework this so that you can hit those numbers. Because let's face it, the consumer is the boss when it comes to what they're willing to pay for something. And if the inventor isn't paying attention to those types of price points, they're going to lose.
Exactly. That's a great point. And that's exactly where having that business model in that market and understanding those prices when you come to, take your design from concept to manufacturing is incredibly important. Knowing that allows you to right size and figure out what level of manufacturing you actually need. Maybe it's making, more of what you've already made in your prototype. Maybe it is actually going the full gamut and doing, something fully autonomous with injection molding and CNC and having robots put it together. But understanding where you're coming from will get you there.
Well, Adam, I tell you what, to be honest with you, mistakes cost money. And if you could, reduce your mistakes, then your profitability part of this to get it to market and to the manufacturer can make the difference of success or failure. And that's just reality. But hey, man, look, Adams, thank you so much. Hey, how can we reach Adam, Rita?
Well, you can go to Kickr, Kickr Design, all one word, KickrDesign.com, and you will be able to find him. Or send me an email and ask for Adam's contact, and I am happy to give it to you.
Say it one more time.
Kickr Design, KickrDesign.com.
All right, Adam, thank you so much for being our guest, man. And, hey, we'll talk to you in the near future, okay?
All right, sounds great. Thanks for having me, guys.
All right, Rita, another hour in the can, man. Where does the time go? All right, you're listening to the Invent America Show. This is the Cajun Contractor, along with Rita Crompton. Yahee!
back to Home Talk USA with Michael King. Do you have questions about your next home improvement project or home repairs? Now you can chat with verified home repair and home improvement experts in just minutes. Get the help you need by visiting HomeTalkUSA.com, one of the best resources for home improvement information around today. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com. And now, back to Invent America from the #1 home improvement radio program in the country. Home Talk USA with your host, the Cajun contractor Michael King, and his co-host, the Inventor Lady, Rita Crompton.
All right, welcome back, everyone, along with my co-host, the Inventor Lady herself, Rita Crompton. Rita, let's talk to our audience about that market week we're going to be attending.
It is ASD Market Week, and I have been working with the sales team there. They're going to actually be on the show. They're going to be there when we are broadcasting from the show. It's amazing because we can take anything from dog products and baby products to hammers and roofing products and beauty products, everything. And other shows we've gone to have been very limited, but this one is wide open. We've got 800 square feet right by the concession stand. So if you are out there and you know anybody who's got a new product and you think that they might want to go and show off, talk to buyers, have them get in touch with Rita and Inventor Lady, Rita at Invent America.
All right, we got to run. Thank you. You're listening to the Invent America Show on the Home Talk USA Radio Network, on the Genesis Communication Radio Network. I'm the Cajun contractor, Michael King, along with Rita Crompton. Yay! Thank you.
Home Talk USA with Michael King is produced by Home Talk Media in association with King's Broadcasting Network and Genesis Communications Network. Broadcast and streamed live from the great state of Louisiana. Host and producer, the Cajun contractor, Michael King. Executive producer, Michael Mellinson. Affiliate and sponsor relations, Joe Spera. Comptroller, Sheila Gregoire. Assistant producer, Christian Bethencourt. Board operators provided by Genesis Communications Network. And I'm your announcer, Kevin McCarthy. Music includes King's Creole by Prolific Arts, Cajun Jam by StockMusic.com, and Zydeco City by Steve Rice. Home Talk USA with Michael King is sponsored by Bonide, pest solutions for your home, garden, and lawn. Decorators, take outdoor living beyond ordinary. Aztec Washer, innovative roofing solutions. Seal it right, seal it tight. Trimislab, replace rotten or missing wood with Trimislab expansion joint repair. Masonry Cosmetics, change the color of any porous masonry with proven masonry staining. Green Products Company, #1 in wood preservatives. Preserve, protect, and clean what you value, and most of all, make it last. Bond Products, manufacturers of InstaBind, the world's first do-it-yourself carpet binding solution. Deckrite, life is tough. Make your exterior flooring tougher. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Home Talk USA with Michael King. Until next time, visit us at HomeTalkUSA.com. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com.
Yay!